Welcome to the SFL Today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very sorry for missing the last 2 weeks of the episodes. I had some prior arrangements that I needed to make, and then last weekend we had a little bit of a technical difficulty whereby we did do an episode, but it wasn't able to upload it.
Why don't you just say he got a little bit too inebriated and he erased it by mistake is really what happened.
There's some certain...
Is that
yeah,
true?
the habit is here a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
is that true or not true?
No, well, it's true that I did erase it, yes, but it still exists. The episode still exists. We might see it in the future. We don't know yet because...
All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, let's get started. All right, this week, sir, you want to commit to? You want to start? Or you want me to start?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying that first of all, we just finished watching the Notre Dame game, and Stephen Mark was rooting for Washington.
And the reason I'm rooting for Washington, Mark, is because I am so sick of Charlie Weis. I think he's the worst coach in college football, and the only way we're going to be able to get rid of him is to have Notre Dame lose. I mean, they should have lost that game, really. I mean, you know, Washington had every opportunity to win.
But Washington beat USC, so I mean, this isn't necessarily a bad Washington team. But the thing is about Notre Dame that I agree with Stephen on to some extent is that, you know, they're winning these games, but, you know, the last minute. I mean, you know, Purdue, come on.
Purdue,
Washington, Nevada,
yeah.
you know, they lose to Michigan. Michigan State, they eke out a win.
Yeah.
They're not convincing at all.
Speaking of Michigan and Michigan State,
Go.
Ozzie, your team again, you did the right thing, Ozzie. You picked Michigan State and your Michigan
So at least Ozzie has something to root for that he got the pick. But, you know, Michigan, we counted that pick as gone because I picked Michigan also. And all of a sudden they came back. And I'm thinking all the momentum was with them. That quarterback brought them all the way back, tied it at the end, go into overtime. And, you know, they turned it over.
Yeah, a lot of games. Another game going on a little later on actually started, the USC game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be happening as we speak. This is being broadcast during that telecast.
I do see that Sean did go with his alma mater.
Unlike what Ozzie did.
Right, unlike Ozzie, but, you know, Sean is more loyal. However, if you look back at the stats of who picked what, Sean has not always picked USC.
No.
And has Mark always picked Notre Dame?
98% of the time, and I think the only time that he didn't pick is a no pick. I can't believe that he...
I can't either.
That Mark would ever...
And has Francine always picked the Packers?
No, but the majority of the time.
But the majority of the time Francine picks against the Patriots, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I think Francine is basically a Patriots hater. Matter of fact, she always picks against Patriots and Notre Dame and USC. I think she's a Kearns hater. Just kidding, Francine. Just kidding. All right, let's move on to the baseball playoffs.
They're coming up, and you know, I like the Red Sox chances. They have 4 good pitchers. You know, if Beckett and Lester continue, Beckett needs to get on his game.
We got to see what Beckett does tonight.
That's a biggie. That's a biggie.
If he settles himself back down.
Yeah.
Lester pitched a good game the other day. Dice-K last night.
Yeah.
Buck Holtz had a bad outing, but he's been pretty solid. So that's a pretty good starting 4.
You know, we get a little bit of timely hitting. You know, Poppy is, you know, the guy's almost going to hit 30 home runs and 100 RBIs, and he had a shitty year. Ooh, excuse me.
Excuse me, Patrick. But anyway, yeah, and then, so you think that they're going to roll right over the Angels because...
Well, I don't think so. You know, I frankly think that the Angels might have a chance this year. I'm not convinced that the Red Sox are going all the way, but I'd like to see it, obviously, and I hope whoever beats the Red Sox, if they do get beat the Yankees anyways.
Well, in other words, what I'm getting at is, do you think that the Yankees will get to a round so that it's a Red Sox-Yankees?
Well, yeah, I think because they're going to be playing either Minnesota or Detroit, and I think they'll beat them.
Yeah.
I think they'll beat them.
So we're geared up here for another Yankee Red Sox.
Ideally, what we'd like to see is an LA Boston World Series.
So we can beat Manny.
And Manny.
But LA may not even get it, get that far.
The Rockies are gonna probably win the division, and LA sucks.
And we don't, yeah, and the Phillies, they got pitching problems, so really it's all set up for the Red Sox. Let's face it.
All right.
So that's an unbiased opinion there. Now we can talk about the NFL tomorrow. We're going to try to do 2 shows this weekend, one on Saturday, one Sunday. So. Do you want to pass on the Patriots discussion and move on?
Yeah, well,
how are we doing on time, sir?
We got about 2 minutes left here
all right.
to discuss things, and well, the other thing we want to maybe discuss is how the SFL is going, of course.
Yeah. Of course you want to discuss that. Number 1 over here, huh?
Numero uno. Yeah. Numero uno right here. But I'm off to a bad start. I had Michigan for the first game and lost that game. Could be my week of demise. Who knows? I have to see how it plays out. Strong week by Francine last week. I see Francine potentially becoming the second woman champion here, possibly. She's playing very strongly.
And so that does that put you in your place from all that sexism you came up with a couple of weeks ago?
I did catch a lot of grief from my wife about the comments I made about the women players in the league.
She actually was going to get on. She wanted to, have a guest appearance to apologize to all the women out there for her husband's behavior. Let's finish up with the Olympics. Dylan tried to start a fight about the Olympics and not getting to Chicago. What's your thought about this?
Well, I think what we're seeing here is that there's a certain portion of this country, the right wing, particularly, anything Obama does is bad. I don't care what it is. I mean, he can go to the bathroom, it's bad. Whatever. And so they're just trying to put him down at any opportunity they can. And they're building up their people. Sarah Palin 012, I think Dylan said in his thing. I love to see Sarah Palin 012.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, let's face it, it's ridiculous. I mean, if he says up, they say down. If he says east, they say west. I mean, it's just their strategy is the only way they can win. In other words, the Palin 012 is a joke. Come on. I mean, if that's the best they have, they're basically saying we've got nothing. We've got nothing, and what we're doing is they got nothing. Nothing. And they're putting out Obama, he sucks everywhere you want to look, right? I mean, but you'd think it's transparent, but I have to admit, to some degree, it's working. Because
you're not wrapping it up. I told you to wrap it up. You didn't wrap it up.
That's a wrap, folks.